The breakout gets attention, but the retest shows intention. And one of the best ways to confirm that intention is a simple 3-bar reversal. When this forms at a level, the entry can become much more structured. Let's take a look at this on the charts. Okay, we'll start out by taking a look at the 15-minute time frame. We're going to go ahead and draw our trend line. We can see that one can be drawn here. And looks like we have our 3 touches. And we can see that price broke here, and we're retesting and hopefully continuing to the downside. Okay, and we're also looking left, and we're noticing that there is some support here. So we'll go ahead and draw our 15-minute support line. And we always want to be sure to check the news for the day and see if there's any red folder news happening during our trading window. So let's take a look. And we see that there's some later this afternoon around 2, but there isn't any during our trading window, which is between 9:30 and 11:30 or so. Okay, and we can see that price is continuing to move. We're on the 15-minute time frame, and this looks like the third candle or confirmation candle is forming, but let's check the 5-minute. And the 5-minute looks good, but the EMAs are going straight across. So we need to keep that in mind. We always want to wait for the candle to completely finish before we enter a trade. And looks like it's ending with some wicks on both ends, so I'm not totally convinced, but I'll go ahead and put our short position tool up. And looks like it's continuing down pretty nicely, so we'll go ahead and enter into this trade. Okay, and we've had a few people ask some questions about the Tradovate platform, so we'll be explaining some things along the way, so be sure to stay tuned. I have 2 micro contracts, and I think it looks like it's pushing down pretty nicely. So we're going to wait for price to leave that zone before we move our stop loss to break even. All right, and we do see that there is a little area of support here, and so we may want to take off part of our position. So we can, what we'll do is turn off the brackets, and we'll buy 1, and that'll take away one of our contracts. And see how now we only have 1 position left. And what we'll need to do is change these. We need to change this over here. We'll change our take profit. We'll put it down here. Left click, buy 1 because we're selling. So we'll put 1 right around here. I think that's a good spot. And you just take your mouse and you can move these around like this. And so you can move your take profit around like this. So I think probably right. I'm going to shoot for this area right here in this little fair value gap right around in here. And we'll need to change this as well, our stop loss. We want that to only be 1. If we don't, if it comes back up all of a sudden, then you will get rid of 1, but you will also be buying 1. So we don't want to do that. And let's put a stop loss here, left click, and buy 1. Then we have a decision to make. We see that price is starting to push up. We have $76 right now. Is that worth risking? And so these are decisions that you've got to make while you're in the middle of a trade, and that's why it's important to practice and learn how price moves. So I'm just going to move it back up to break even. Okay, it's pushing down again. We have $100. I think I'm going to go ahead and take that. And what you do is click exit at market close. And you can see how now we've exited out of everything. Everything is gone. If I had another contract, then I might see if it will get all the way down here. But I do know that we are pushing back up. This is a pretty strong wick. But on a small account, I think a $200 win is pretty good. If you can do that a few times a week, then you're in good shape. And so what we'll do next is go ahead and list our confluences. And what we've got to do is ignore what's going on down here. There might be a little voice inside your head telling you to hop back in, but that's not part of our plan. So just say no thank you, and we'll save it for Las Vegas. So we had a break and retest of the 15-minute trend line. We'll go ahead and draw the path of price action. So we broke the trend line, we retested back up into the supply area, and right around 9:45 we had an engulfing candle and noticed some momentum here, and so that's when we got into the trade. We're trading below the EMAs, and here it is on the 15-minute. So if you want to set up brackets, you just click this little cogwheel there, and you can name your bracket, and I'll name this as, my take profit will be maybe $200 and a stop loss of 75. And you can decide whether it's a stop or a stop limit. Stop limit is it costs a little bit less, but I'd rather it stop right away. All right, and so these are our brackets for NAS that we created. We're using a dollar value instead of ticks. We're using a $200 take profit and a $75 stop loss, or you could make it 50 or whatever you're comfortable with. I usually end up sliding it and moving it around anyway, but that gives me enough room to start. And then you can click save. You click it and then you can find the bracket that we just created. And so the next time we take a trade, you'll see your stop loss and your take profit pop up automatically. And that's pretty helpful. If you want to manually create them, then you just have to make sure that your bracket is on off, and you left click your mouse. I always use a mouse, but you left click your mouse and you can buy or sell this way. Remember that if you're in a sell, you're going to want to buy, and if you're in a buy, you're going to want to sell when you set your stop loss and take profit. Now that we're finished with our confluences, we can take a screenshot of this and put it in our journals. If you'd like more helpful tips and simple trading ideas like these, be sure to subscribe to our channel, and also please leave a comment. What do you use to trade on? Do you use Tradovate or a different platform?